I have with me Viviane from Ayur Yoga Academy, and she is a graduate of the Profitable Yoga Teacher Program. She's very kindly agreed to come and join me inside the group here so that she can share some of her experiences in the program and just what she's been up to. So hello, welcome, and thank you for joining me.
Thank you so much, Kelly. Thanks. It's awesome to be here.
Yay. Well, we're really happy that you're here. So just tell us what you've been up to since being in the program. I mean, when did you finish?
Oh, wow. I finished. Did you have one from May till August 2021, right?
21. I think it was, you were in 2021.
Yeah, during the summer, yeah. Because then I took the accelerator. Right. Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Yes. So what I have been up to after that?
Yeah.
Wow, it's so many things. Where should I start? I mean, when I attended your course, the Profitable Yoga Teachers, I mean, I just had scratched on the surface, so to speak, because before that, I could never imagine I should go digital. Never, ever in my life. But somehow you came into my path, and then, wow, this is really cool. And I had shut down my health center due to the pandemic mainly.
Yeah.
And gave me kind of I thought I should give myself 6 months break just to reflect on what happened. But I gave myself a year, but in that period as well, I joined your amazing training. So yeah, to be honest, your training is overwhelming, but in a good way, because it's so many things, it's so many parts, so many topics, and everything was new to me. Of course, I had a Facebook account. I also had an Instagram account that I never worked with, and I needed a new web page, and I have never done a new web page. I didn't know what Canva was. I didn't know, I didn't know.
Yeah, all the tools.
Exactly.
So there was a big learning curve for you at the beginning.
Yes, it was. And now 1.5 years later, I'm just, wow, I have learned so much. And just picking piece by piece and kind of navigate and not being that overwhelmed, to see it like it is. It's different parts that you need to embrace and just go through it.
Yeah.
So
I think that's a really good point, because there's a lot of information in there. And I mean, I don't shy away from sharing here, especially with everyone who's been through the boot camp, that there's a lot of work to do. Like, this doesn't get handed on a plate. Like, the results don't just appear. There is a lot of work to do. And of course there is, really, building a business that's going to make us money for like years to come and have that, sustainability in our business. It's going to be some learning curves to go through.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, through the course, you supported us as well. So good by take it at your pace. It's okay, but do the work. Don't postpone everything, because then nothing will be done. And of course, I also changed. I mean, I have been teaching for 20 years. I have been educating for, now it's 10, but at the time it was 8 years. And all of a sudden going digitally, and I decided to go internationally, not going only in Swedish. So I have only been teaching in Swedish before. So that was also an obstacle I had, but I'm happy to do that. I'm really happy that I did.
Yeah.
I mean, going digitally, I realized, wow, I'm out in the big world. Before, I was in my city, and my health center is such a big, and I think as a student, you need to realize that. And if you want to embrace that big world to find your ideal students, then you need to do the work.
Yeah.
So, but of course.
And you can go at your own pace. So that's a question that comes up a lot. It's like, well, how many hours do I need to put into this? It's really, how many hours have you got? Is the answer. And it's like, you can even, it depends what your goal is, really. If ultimately your goal is that you want this business to work and you want to have your online course, then start now. It doesn't matter if you've got 5 hours a week to dedicate to it or 20 hours a week to dedicate it. Start now. So you did that. And what was the transition of actually getting yourself online? Like, what did that first look like when you first created something online for your students?
Well, since I have been educating, I had already decided to take my big course out there. So that was a challenge to transform that into digital, to do a lot of pre-recordings, but also to just show up, to don't lose it, to show up at social media, but also show up to my audience that are emailing me, and that I will email my news to, even though, I mean, it doesn't have to be a huge or really deep, insightful content all the time. So I had a learning curve to pick. I mean, I have so much content, and where should I go? And you supported me in that. Vivian, you have so much content. Just pick something. It doesn't have to be, you know, to create something new. So just, it's not that I didn't believe in myself, but I know that I think many that are going out there are a little bit, oh, what should I say? Or what should I contribute with? It's just another platform. It's not my health center. It's not the yoga studio. This is the studio in there. And that was a transforming journey for me, at least. And also so, the possibility to connect.
To connect with your students in that way. Definitely. And so what did your first launch look like? Tell us about that, because you've launched a few times now, haven't you? So what did it first look like?
Yeah, my first launch was last spring. So spring 2022 in May. I did it by the book, like you said. So, and because I just, that was one of the biggest things with your training. I really love your structure and strategy. So, and I didn't have that at all. So I just followed it and it worked. So I did a challenge during 5 days, launched that before launching the course. And I did quite much personal reaching out to my students to get them to enroll to the course. It was really overwhelming. It was really fun, exciting. And I learned so much about myself and my students and how to connect. Because that was actually one thing that I was unsure about. One of my strengths is to embrace the room in a yoga studio, to see all my students and to try to give them what they need. And I just, wow, how can I do that through a device? But obviously, you can do that. I know that you can, but I didn't know if I could. But I think everyone can. It's just you have to, I believe you have to understand that it's a different thing. Don't to compare them. It's different. In person is one thing. Digitally is one thing. But there are so many benefits by going digitally, as I see it now. I can remember this. I can remember when you were going through that launch and you felt like, at one point you felt like giving up, and I was like, no, you can keep doing it. And I really wanted to do it. I did
well.
You supported me exactly when I needed it. So and I don't think it's for me. Of course, we are different individuals, but I believe it's always overwhelming first time. Because it's so new, you are excited and you are afraid of failing, and you are, you know, and tech stuff, and it's so many things that can go wrong. But if you put that aside and just do it, And now when I did it the second time, actually I launched it the same way, except from I added 1 week in the launch of my course. And I was so in alignment with myself, especially through the launch, both launches, but first the challenge and then the course. But I was so much in faith. I just, okay, I can do this. I know it. So I just gave all my energy those 3 weeks to be in alignment and to just trust what comes up in my mind. Who should I connect with now? Who can I reach out to? And not to sell the course. Of course, I wanted to sell the course, but who could I really feel had engaged and were in need of my course, were in need of my support and my knowledge.
Yeah, so coming from that place of service rather than seeing it as, oh, I'm reaching out to people to sell, you know, and actually, you know, you probably found that people were coming to you with questions. Like, certainly I'm getting that now. I'm getting questions, people coming to me. And so really it's like you're showing up to support them so that they can make the right decision for them. And I think that's such a big shift, mindset shift to make. And once you make that, it starts to feel easier. But of course, in the beginning, it's, you know, there's a block, isn't there? It's that resistance of, I don't want to be sending someone a message, or I don't want to be like sending these sales emails and annoying people. So what about your results then? So that second launch, what results? Yeah, what results did you get in terms of numbers in and financially?
Yeah, numbers in, they are 8 students. And it's the most amazing thing is that the first launch was mainly my previous students, and it's nothing wrong with that, of course, but this time it was more, it's only 2 previous students, and then the other are people from other places. And also a big win was that it was the students from the States, and last time it was actually from Mexico. So I just, wow, yeah, I went internationally, and it is internationally. So yeah, the launch in numbers, in money, it is the double from the first launch, because they pay not fully all of them, but more of the participants pay full price.
So I think was that launch a 5K launch? I'm trying to recall your numbers. Yeah, that was a 5K launch.
And
amazing.
Yeah.
And so how does that feel then when you start then to get that coming through, and it's like, oh my gosh, I've just done, you know, a year of work really to get to that stage, and then to be like, oh, it does work.
It's so many things going through the system. Relief, for sure. Like, wow, because I have worked a lot. I mean, it's a lot of content, it's a lot of pre-recordings, it's a lot of things just to understand how it works. But also a lot of trust in myself and trust in my intuition, actually, because I have really been in faith. So and this is the first week of the course. We had lecture and session Monday and Q&A yesterday, and I just, wow, the result these students have done this week. We have just been through 1 week, we have another 11, and I just, wow, yeah, it's really my ideal students, all of it. That is one thing as well. They are my ideal students, all of them, and you know how I struggled to carve that out. I wanted to reach them all from 25 to 70. So that was a really good win as well. I can see
I do remember that. I was working on the messaging part of it and getting that right. So that's such a key thing, isn't it? And now you can see people coming in, because ultimately that directly relates then to the impact that you can make in people's lives. And that's the main thing, isn't it? You know, that you can show up and do that through this offering. So what does the rest of this year look like for you? And where do you see this online part of your business taking you?
Wow. Yeah, I have quite a lot to do this spring, because I am those were the 2 I said to you our last coaching that I should do it during the fall, but the time wasn't with me due to private stuff. So I am in a production phase where I'm producing 2 smaller courses, since my course is 12 weeks. So it's quite a big course I mean, in the sense of both time-wise, money-wise, and the energy that the participants will give into to this course. So I create 2, a small course and a medium, and one of them will be launched next week, and then the next one hopefully in April. So that is due to having kind of a sales funnel. So a small course, a mid one, and a big one. I started on the opposite direction. I started with a big one. So that is the big one is the one that I have launched twice.
Amazing. That's fantastic. And that's when, you know, we talk about this at the end of the program, don't we? You know, how you can build out this product suite of different offerings and funnel people at different stages of their journey. So you're really starting to build that out now, which is incredible. So we'll just finish up then. If there's anyone considering joining the program, what would you say to them?
I should say, just do it. Actually, I should. I couldn't make it without your program. Of course, I could find somebody else perhaps, but I mean, you came into my path, and your course, the strategy and the structure that you have was really, I realized that at once, this is what I need. She has all the keys that I do not have. I have the knowledge that I will bring out to the world, but if I do not have those keys, how to do it, I will end up with 0 or something. I mean, so you need to have the keys, the tools. It's the same way in everything that you learn. You can't be good at everything. And I'm good at what my courses have to offer. I wasn't good at this stuff. So yeah, you
are now.
I am now. Yeah, I am.
Now,
I have learned so much. So I'm forever grateful. So yeah, that is simply what I should suggest, because even it's hard to do it if you are not a tech pro, or it's not only the tech stuff, it's the digital, it's everything, but it's also the strategy, and you encourage us a lot to overcome our fears in different ways, and also clarifying, like, I didn't understand, what is my niche? Wow, that was my first one. And then my ideal student, I mean, I couldn't, because I had my shadow sides. I could see it clearly if I hadn't been through the program. So
amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much. You've just done, you know, it's so wonderful to be able to see teachers like yourself who have such incredible gifts to share with the world. And now you have this outlet to be able to do it. Like you say, we all have our strengths, and now you have a platform where you can actually get out there and reach more people. So well done. And, you know, just really well done for sticking with it, because it is, like you said, you're like, it's overwhelming, but you still persevered and got through all of that. And it's, you know, some people might just give up with that feeling overwhelmed. It's a horrible feeling. It's not a nice feeling to have. And I think when you're in a community like this and you have support, you can get through it. You know, and most of us have overwhelm when we're sat at home on our own trying to do things without support. So, you know, it takes a lot of courage just even to come into a program and get the support that you need, but also to just go through all the steps, and you've done it, you got to the end. So big congratulations to you. And I just wish you all the best for your business in the future. Thank you so much for being part of our community.
Yeah, thank you so much. It is awesome to be here. And that is also one thing, just that, to connect, to stay in the community, because you can have so much support. Even now I get support from your group. So
yeah. Well, you're more than welcome to stay there as long as you want. Okay, I'll speak to you very soon. Thank you so much for joining me today and for doing this.
Thank you, Kelly. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.